Hello, dear friends. Here we are. Yay! 40 nights with the Promise Consoler. And it's really promising. This lesson, I assure you, is not only beautiful, but funny. It's also very entertaining and deep. And we would say surprising. I don't think I've heard some of the expressions explaining this message, and I think you'll be quite surprised too. You know, these texts by Humberto de Campos are really amazing, fascinating, always something new, and it's a joy for us. It's really a journey of this school, as he says, the divine school of ascension. You know, many people on the earth, they think that they are doomed to be who they are. But comes the Spiritist science and tells us, no, you're in a divine school of ascension. You are built to progress, to learn, to evolve. If you don't know how you're going to get from this point to another point, you rest assured that you will. God knows, and all we need to do is trust in God inside of us, right? So this is based 40 nights with the Promise Consoler, based on the articles, chapters, reports written by Humberto de Campos or Brother X, his pseudonym, through the hands of the medium Chico Xavier, and compiled from many books, and now ready for us finally in English. And we are very blessed that this is coming to light in English, because it's much needed in the current times that we're living in. So we stay positive, we stay connected, and supporting one another with the truth. Yes, it's universal, right? But we are not alone here. We have many good friends from the spiritual realm and the material realm. Who is here?
Hello, dear friends. Our hearts are already connected.
Yeah. Carol is here with us. And here we are, friends, working, right? Together. Together forever. You stay in my heart. Na, 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 na. Okay, ready. Let's say hi to our beautiful community. A community that is together to make us stronger, especially at the current times. And together also to share the good news wherever we are. Hello, Julija. How are you, my friend? And Rihanna, how are you? Melissa, how are you? Adilson and Andrea. Valeria. Yeah, I'm saying this for everybody, okay? But Valeria was also working there. Now she's here. Okay. Katia. Danny and Erica. Hello, Erica. And Felipe. How are you, Felipe? Cesar. Friends, I assure you that I'll be able to respond to your messages soon. I'm so excited about it. As soon as we have finished this program, okay? And Lea Severo. Beautiful Lea. And Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Tiago somewhere there, right? Sunshine. Beautiful Sunshine. Angelita. Oh, Raquel. We're grateful to you, beautiful mom. And I was happy to know about your course in your certification through the Peace Schools, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Sunshine, we are all very grateful. And as Leia is saying, this is pearl number 5, exactly, 40 nights. beautiful nights with the Promised Consoler, right? Carol, Sunshine saying hi to you, and Cesa, and Melissa, and Rihanna. Thank you. Oh, love to you. And Leia, and Julija. Very warm there, Julija, in Melbourne, Australia. 38 Celsius. Whew. Some water for you. Woo. Please, because it's very hot. Bianca, beautiful Bianca. Oh, Raquel, thank you for correcting me. Mindful schools. Exactly. Thank you. And Patricia, thank you. Hello, Tiago, too. Friends, this fifth night is based on chapter 5, titled The Testimony, from the book Pontos e Contos. We're not going to translate the title. We'll leave it for some other time. It's not in English, the book, but some chapters are already in English because they're related to Jesus passages. Okay? This one in specific is very, very interesting. But I would say there are funny parts, surprising parts, scary parts, funny parts, but you'll be surprised. You know, this relationship with the Christ is always a box of surprises, right? Hello, Solange, Flavia from San Diego. That's beautiful, Flavia. Welcome, welcome. We're praying. Oh, Andrea, you have a storm coming up? Or, if I understand, we'll pray for you as well. Ready, friends? Let us breathe in and out and find this optimal mode. Right? Because to absorb this message, we need to be able to see and to hear what is going to be told us. Let us visualize Humberto de Campos through Chico Xavier telling us this story and be reverent to the effort of Chico Xavier, to the effort of Humberto de Campos, because it's not simple in our planet to have these treasures being brought to us. They are true gems of Christ, as Leah said, pearls, as Emmanuel once reported, like a necklace of pearls. And here they have for us the testimony. A holy man was resting by an old well at Caesarea, right? When someone, some young apprentices of the gospel approached him, asking for explanations about the testimony to which all the leaders of Christian virtue refer in spiritual preparation. The elder man made a gesture of blessing and spoke without preamble. A devoted Jew, converted to the good news, decided to carry the word of the Lord to a certain rural community of the ancient Phoenicia, where he resided in order to lead friendly hearts from darkness to light. Ignited with enthusiasm, he left Jerusalem for the new country he had adopted. After collecting the teachings of the Messiah through the apostles in a family atmosphere, with a modified mind and a changed heart, he began to teach the new truths without losing the warmth of faith before the cold indifference of old companions in life. No one wanted to know how to forgive enemies or to help them, much less to lay hands on their own assets in favor of brotherhood. For this reason, The poor preacher was insulted and stoned in a public square. After a long time of futile effort, he decided to transfer to a prosperous village situated on the banks of the Euphrates, where he had several friends. He went on his way without hesitation. He followed the road. His thoughts turned to the sky, all blue and gold, thanking the Master for the blessing of the flowers and the breezes that sweetened his gait, when, at some point, in the swampy area, he noticed a cunning crocodile who, sneaky and voracious, crawled in his direction. He understood the extent of the danger and tried to avoid it. He backed off instinctively. However, two fearsome animals of the same species sought to attack him from the back. He knew that not far away there was a small cabin where he could shelter, and he hurried to reach it. When getting there, however, he noticed, in surprise, that the hut had been burned by an anonymous delinquent. He saw the bank of the great canal nearby, where a small bridge would give him passage to the other side of the region. However, the rustic bridge had been swept away by recent floods. By then, other crocodiles had joined the first three. The terrified traveler, in order to preserve himself, made his way to an ancient cave not too far away. However, as he approached it, he noticed that the great serpent was occupying the bottom of it, showing its aggressive head. Stunned, he headed for two seemingly vigorous trees and tried to escape through one of them, but in a few seconds the vegetable fell over, smashing it to the ground. He climbed the second and had the same experience. The roots had been destroyed by invasive worms. He remembered a certain mound of stones. Concluding that there had been something to defend himself properly, he ran to fetch it. However, he only found signs of workers who had transported them to some adjacent building. Anxious, he sought some element for his natural defense. However, the land had been washed away by copious rains, and he had not even seen the slightest piece of wood. Disappointed, he ascended a small area with the intention of jumping into some valley. But when he reached the top, he simply uncovered the abyss. He then realized that the abyss meant death. The man who had been so tortured looked up to the sky, knelt down, and before the beasts that were approaching him, he cried out, "Master, the designs of the Lord are to be fulfilled in this slave of yours." At this point in the experience, the astonished disciple saw a faint mist, from which, in a small fraction of a minute, Jesus himself emerged, radiant and beautiful, who said to him kindly, "Don't be afraid. I'm here. My grace is enough for you." Strong gale blew swiftly. The ferocious saurians Lizards retreated astounded. The narrator took a long pause and concluded. All the followers of the Lord will meet adversaries in the path of purification. The more advanced the course in which they are, the greater the number of testimonies and lessons, because difficulties, obstacles, persecutions, misunderstandings are always symbolic beasts. There are disciples who will find a crocodile per year. Other disciples will be visited monthly or weekly by the crocodiles. And many exist that are confronted, many apprentices that are confronted by an hourly crocodile pilgrimage, depending on the experiences of the progress made. In these precious and important moments, however, there's no recourse to the protection of external forces, because in the divine school of ascension, each learner is to find help, response, or solution within himself. And before the young apprentices asked new questions, ready on their lips, the old man stood up, leaned on the humble cane, and said goodbye, and went on. And you think stories like this can only be read in Buddhist texts? No, it's universal. Even in Spiritism, we have similar stories. Why? Because it's the universal mind, right? Hello, Fred! Exactly. Thank you, Melissa. Don't be afraid. I'm here. My grace is enough for you. In Português, não temas. Estou aqui. A minha graça te basta. Is this text for us? Or, like another day, a friend of mine told me, you know, Vanessa, it's so funny. I have a relative of mine who have been studying Spiritism his whole life. And one day I called to say hi, and he said, oh, I'm reading the book, The Messengers. And I reminded myself of you. Because, you know, you probably were like those messengers telling my friend. You go there, you learn this, and now you're here reincarnated and you're doing your best to fulfill your tasks. And my friend told me, Vanessa, it's so funny because he's reading the book and he thinks that those stories are about me, but it's about him. Who is the messenger? Any one of us? Who are the apprentices of the gospel? Any and all of us? Therapeutic question. Do you feel yourself as an apprentice of the gospel? Let's ask ourselves. It's important that we bring it very personal. So personal that it's about us. Do you feel you are an apprentice of the good news? Not in a sectarian way like, oh, the good news but not other religions. No, it's this universal, the cosmic consciousness that Jesus brought to us. Okay? Do you feel you are an apprentice of it? Or, as some people say, oh, but I'm just learning, but I'm not. It's like no commitment, right? Because that doesn't exist. Either we're in or out. There's no like halfway through. It's in or out. And there's no halfway through because literally these teachings, either you immerse yourself or you don't. And it's not immersing ourselves with the reasoning alone. When Kardec explained to us that when we combine reasoning and faith, it's become unshakable faith. He's talking about the unity of reasoning and feelings. Exactly what Jesus told Nicodemus. It's not enough to know reasoning. It's important to feel through faith. Together, ta-da! Magic! What is it? Unshakable faith. To the point that people are going to look at you like, aren't you afraid? No. Should I? No, I'm not. Why should I be afraid? Oh, but your loved one is dying. No, my loved one is not dying. They're graduating. What? Yeah, they're graduating. They're done for this life. They need to return home. We can't keep a child the whole day and night in a school. There's a moment the child needs to go back home, like any of us. We need to go back to our home, the spiritual realm. So we're not going to be sad if somebody dies out of natural causes or a long disease. We're going to be sad if they were gone in a tragic way because we know it's tougher on them, but we're not going to be rebellious against God. Because now we know. Now we feel it. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is possible. Right? Hello, Rita Di Cassia. How are you? Welcome, welcome, dear soul. Now you're here, let us grow. And I'm going to share with you that these songs were brought to us mediumistically for the activities of children, babies, toddlers in our center. We have some already released in the website of Spirit Society of Virginia, ssvirginia.org. You can go there. There's Spiritism for Babies and Toddlers. Some of the songs are already there, but we'll soon will release a CD. Many people have been asking. Not us, no. It's the spirits giving us these songs that really impact on, and it's very catchy too, right? So we'll share with you, and you can share with your children, everybody, even the adults love it too. All right, going back, the holy man teaching apprentices the gospel. And he said, this person who was Jewish and got to know the good news was teaching, and he wasn't received well. Isn't it true, friend? Isn't it true that once you start changing your life, your dynamics, people start feeling those old acquaintances of ours, they find it a little strange, right? Right. They find it a little strange. They look at us. Remember somebody telling me, like, you could make so much money using that time for your profession and charging people. We don't need to explain, right? There are things that are not possible to explain because the foundation is not the same. It's like we're talking apples and bananas. So there is no way to do the math. Apples and bananas. Apples, bananas, bananas. 1 apple plus 1 banana equals 2 apple banana. People won't understand what it is. Right? So we don't go there. We don't need to explain everything. We don't need to. The other day, a mother was asking, but my son should talk more And Mentor Joseph said, not really. Learning not to speak too much is wise. We're in a society that is too verbal, that we think we're only secure when we talk, and we're actually vampirizing one another by dominating through the word. Learning how to cultivate this inner silence, that not necessarily we need to speak everything we think, everything we say. Just feeling it, just being it is wise. So don't teach your children to be a chatterbox. Oh, but in America, if you speak up your mind, then you go places. Yeah, you go places like psychiatric hospitals. Because then you can bother people. You can feel too anxious because you have to constantly show yourself off. No, no, no. But people are not going to know who they are. Well, but God knows, right? That's what Jesus taught us. God knows. We don't need the world to know. So finding that balance and learning how not to speak is actually a good habit to be created. Silence is the answer, as Leia is saying. Melissa is asking, the site, Melissa, we're gonna update it, okay? But you have a few of the songs. If you go to ssvirginia.org, which is Spiritus Society of Virginia, there's a tab named Spiritism for Babies. We have some lesson plans there already shared, not all of them, but we will update some songs, lyrics that are written in the lesson plans, adapted to each lesson plan, plus we also have some audio files there, but we're gonna update it, okay? We are hoping that some friends from somewhere in New York are gonna help us record the CD, right? Yeah, okay, that's our prayer. But that's interesting, because like this devoted man who decided to carry the word of the Lord amongst people and bringing this beautiful knowledge of Jesus, he only found difficulties. And when he transferred to another city, the pathway was so difficult. So difficult, my friends. Right, our dear Tiago is saying one of our most valuable assets is somebody's attention. Exactly. So why not we be the ones who give that attention, right, Tiago? Why not exercising that? You don't need to speak all the time, but listen to the other. Let them be the center stage. Let them be the party of the group. That's okay. Alba, how are you? So here we have. Now, interesting enough, something probably you've never heard, and me neither. He talks about crocodiles. Yeah, Humberto de Campos has a good sense of humor. But you know, we can't forget that he was attending the school of the gospel in the spiritual realm. And we know it when he reported in the book Good News, the preface. There he learned all of it. And he's sharing with us the lessons he learned it. And there in this tale, we have the presence of crocodiles. Why crocodiles? Because they are rude. Right? Think about crocodile. Because they are dangerous. They are very aggressive. And they are very subtle. You know, crocodiles, they are not like a lion that can be, you know, you can see them from afar. No, they can be under the water and boom, and be very active when you least expect, when you're sleeping during darkness. That's interesting. Let's observe. Why crocodile? Because when you observe it, crocodile is also, yeah, we'll go to the psychological part of it, and Melissa is helping us. But if you study the animal, we're gonna see that it's one that particularly is active when it's dark. So it's very interesting to observe that relationship. Okay? And that's why also crocodile. When we study, for example, the influences, the negative influences that will generate obsession, Kardec defines to us in the Medium's book, chapter 23, about obsession, that obsessions usually they are very subtle and gradual. They don't happen like this, boom, out of the blue. When you see the manifestation, it's because it has been coming and people didn't notice the signs, but we need to be attentive. It's very subtle. It sometimes starts with a negative thought. The second day we are irritated. The third day we don't feel like seeing people. The fourth day we want to burn the bridges of our friendships and relationships. Okay? And then from there on, it escalates. And that's why when you see a mass shooter, a criminal, oh, but he was such a quiet person for you because you're not living with him in your daily life. Because if you were, you would see all the signs. Nobody takes a gun and starts shooting like out of the blue as if like, I woke up to yesterday I was thinking beautiful thoughts and today I want to kill people. No. They have been cultivating those thoughts that were insufflated and that they also cultivated on their own. Always begin with a self-obsession. When I don't feel that I am worthy, when I feel guilty, when I feel hatred, all these negatives that I keep cultivating, and I add friends from other, and I say friends, quote unquote, and then it generates an obsession. So they always operate in the darkness. Okay? And the waters is a symbol of emotion. Okay? It's very interesting to observe. When we talk about crocodiles, we talk also about the environment, this mixture of land and waters. And waters is a great symbol of emotions. Emotions. So darkness, underneath, in these dark emotions, that's when we can fall prey to these beasts, as the beasts of our negative thoughts. We become a victim of our own negative thoughts and feelings that generate relationships that derail us, okay? And as Melissa is kindly sharing with us, since we are in this beautiful community, the word crocodile is from the Greek word krokodeilos, which in some translations means pebble man, referring to the animal's scaly exterior. Thank you. And Tiago is adding, crocs also have a thick, seemingly impenetrable skin, physical, dense, spiritual light. Thank you, Tiago, Melissa. Rihanna said, they can't be tamed, and you're right. Hello, Marisa. And crocodiles are known to emit low vibration groans. So it's very interesting. Thank you, friends. It's beautiful because it adds to the picture. So he's saying, who are they? They are not only external, they are also inside of us. We cannot become afraid of others because we need first to know that we have these, and quote unquote, beasts inside of us that can attack us when we least expect. Let me give an example. when you work and devote yourself, but you suffer the ingratitude of people. But we only suffer it when we don't do it unconditionally. Because deep inside we're going to say, you know, I'm not the one who gives all of this energy and the time and the vitality. And the good spirits actually do, and God does. Who am I to expect a thank you, recognition, if even Jesus didn't have it from his own disciples at the right time? Later, but not at the time, the most excruciating time of pain. No expectation, just keep going. What people are gonna do is between them and God. You know, there are times, for example, when you build communities, people come and go, it's natural. And some people, they're like, oh, but that person's not here anymore. I said, my friend, but Jesus is giving freedom to all of us. God is giving us free will, and now we're going to be concerned that people are not here any longer in our spiritist community, in our spiritist center. God bless them. They need their time, they need their space, and so be it. So we can't be demanding on faithfulness, a faithfulness that we don't have. Loyalty that we don't have yet. Remember yesterday when Mentor Joseph was asking us, why do you love Jesus? You love Jesus because he gives you loving care, protection? Or do we already love him for whom he is to us? Not only the protection love, but really because he's simply amazing. What an amazing, if you admire a human being whom you see like Dalai Lama, somebody in your family, now imagine Jesus. Why not? Right? Is it too hard? No. The more we know of him, the easier it becomes. Because he becomes more beautiful, more radiant, more handsome. Not only like the flesh, we're talking about the inner, the light, the vibrating being. What a star. He is our star. He is our star, right? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Right, Carol? Oh, Jesus. We wonder who you are because you're phenomenal. Right? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. So this is Jesus, the shining star in our lives. Literally. Right? Now, back to the crocodiles. They exist. It's new to us, right, Carol?
It is. I was surprised.
You were surprised too?
Very surprised.
Yeah. Carrie saying she was surprised too. Right, Carol?
Yes.
So it's very surprising. We need to meditate this. We have a day at least to meditate on the crocodiles and know where they are. And they are not only in Disney. You know, they exist there. And it's not only the movies. It can be in the surroundings too. But what is interesting is that there is a moment in your life that the more, like this man, he was going further and further in his mission, in his accomplishments. And the more that he tried, more obstacles, more impediments. And the more he advanced, the trickier it became, to the point he came to the climax of his challenge. The abyss, which meant death, and the beasts, the crocodiles. So what do we do? Where do we go? Right? What do we do? If I go this way, boom. If I go that way, whew. What do we do? It's that very moment in which we finally go within. And he said, And this is the password. The password. He surrendered. Surrender. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, there is this word, abnegation, which is about giving of yourself selflessly. But you need to do it before. Before you go there, you need to surrender. Surrender means you do it. The other day, Carol and I were working on a text by Humberto de Campos that talks about charity. And Mentor Joseph said, yeah, Vanessa, it's very beautiful to do this work, but charity is more beautiful when practiced. So you know there's a friend of yours who is sick, and it's her birthday, so you go there. Now, you too, go there and surprise her. And give the passes. I said, but right now we don't have much time. We have so much work to do. I said, it's up to you. But charity, when written, translated, is beautiful. But it's really impacting when it's put in action. And we accepted the invitation with gratitude, right, Carol?
Of course. Absolutely.
It was a lesson for us.
Yes.
It was a lesson of the heart. Many times Emmanuel did that with Chico. Now stop psychographing, stop doing this and go help people. Professor Eurípides Barçanufo, Divaldo Franco. How often we're there thinking that what we're doing is the most important thing. But the mentors say, call that relative of yours. Like, but right now they're going to be an hour on the phone. It's our choice. They don't force us, they just invite us. Call now. Send that email. Post that beautiful thing on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, the whole 9 yards. Whatever that means. Twitter. Mamma mia. We need a public relation person for us to deal with all of this. Right? It's amazing. But we need to walk the talk. And walk the talk is not about huge things. It's about the here and now. It's like, you know, oh, it's beautiful, but then your partner is going to come home and you didn't cook. You could have cooked, made him or her happy. You didn't. Why? I was tired. Well, but where's the surrender? The beast of tiredness, the crocodile, is eating you up. That's a crocodile, right, Carol? Another one is hunger.
Yes.
Hunger. Right? Hunger can be a crocodile. Right? When we need to work for the benefit of all when we feel hungry. Little things. We're talking about survival. Work. It can turn into a crocodile. Work, our professional work, can turn into a crocodile, destroying families, destroying communities. But the crocodile of all times is has a three-letter name. Who guess? Who guess it? You're gonna win a Kardec Radio bumper sticker. If you know it, Carol, you can say it.
Pride? Selfish?
Tick, 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 tick. It's a three-letter. Three-letter. If you know it, you win a bumper sticker and Pills of Trust book.
Wow.
Boy. Really? No, promise is promise. Pills of Trust book by Dr. Dias da Cruz through Andrei Moreira. What is it, friends? What is this crocodile? The most fearful one?
Only 3 letters?
Yeah, 3 letters. 3 letters. It's a quiz. It's a quiz that can get you a Pills of Trust. And if you already have it, we'll give you Thought and Life.
Oh.
It's getting better as we speak. What is it? Ah, Thais, you're there. Thais, you got it. Ego. But I think Thais and Melissa got it at the same time, maybe. So each one of you is going to get a book. Okay? Pick your choice. pills of trust, or thought in life. Good job! Thais won. Thank you. Yay. That's the crocodile of all times. It can eat us up. People are going to go there and tease you. They're going to go there and say you're bad. And then you're going to start proving yourself that you are in command, that you're the power struggle and everything. Jesus allowed even Peter, remember the passage, to tell him that he was not right. And he didn't get offended. He didn't say, hey, I'm the Messiah, remember? He didn't say that. He just said, Peter, I have not come for the healthy. I came for the sick. He didn't take it personally because no ego. That crocodile was not in the picture. But in our lives, crocodile of ego. Ego is a very ugly crocodile. Not the one that identifies ourselves, because that's healthy, but the one that we're talking about, the pride, the selfishness. That thing about me, my, mine. The Mentor Joseph today was breaking it down to us, saying, it's when we keep that toddlerhood mentality being adults, so it's like an adultler, right?
Yeah.
Adultler,
Yeah, a dotler.
right? Adultler. Am I an adultler? An adult with the mind of a toddler, thinking that everything's for me, everything that I need is important, most important, other people's needs are not important. You talk to toddlers and you say, can you wait a little bit because I'm hungry and I have to eat? They're going to say, no. No, do you understand I'm hungry? Can you wait a little bit before we play with this so I can eat? And they're going to say no, at first. And then if you explain, they're going to say, okay, I'll wait, maybe, or not. But that's the adultler mindset. For adults, we need to be careful. So Rita, she's posting here, Rita de Cássia, a crocodile. But the final message is when Jesus, not the final yet, the surrender. When I make, it's not my will. I say, Jesus, you know I'm here working on it. I don't know where to go. If I run, I'm going to die. If I go, I stay, they're going to eat me up. So you tell me. And then who comes? Jesus, the promised consoler. He will come radiant and beautiful and kindly say, do not be afraid. $54 billion for the Pentagon. We're not afraid. We're not afraid. We're not going to tease the forces, but we're not afraid. Why? Because Jesus is in command. God is in command. This world is not of Caesar, it's of God. It's of God. It's of God. The world is of God, not of Caesar. And He is here. He says, I am here. He is here. When people tell you, but oh my God, say, don't be afraid. Christ is here. My grace is enough for you. What is grace? We're studying together here, the four of us, Carlos, Mark, Carol, and I, with the protection of the good spirits. They were saying, grace is this favor of God. It's this blessing for protection. So we're protected. We're protected, friends. Let us not forget that in the law of action and reaction, nothing that happens to us is by chance. We're not victims. We're no victims. It's a blessing in disguise. The challenges in our lives are blessings in disguise. Let's not forget that the Spirit Valerian shared with us this beautiful lesson that when the Father heard that there was an epidemic, He tried to put his child in a bubble, take him away from the city and send him to a safe haven. 20 days later, he gets to know his son was murdered in a casino. And the Spirit Valerian says to us, we have to be faithful. We can't run away from our own challenges. Remember of Stephen and Abigail, they didn't run away. They were courageous, and courage is one of the trademark. As Jesus said to Bartholomew, chapter 8, the book Good News. Joy, hope, and courage. The courage to do what? To face the obstacles. How does a superhero becomes a hero? By facing it. Go watch the movie Moana. It's a beautiful lesson. When she faces that apparent dark force, but she has the good heart. She shows the heart. Compassion. That ugly figure transforms into a beautiful goddess, showing to us that there is nothing to be afraid of. These are not mere words. We ask God, please give us strength. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. Right? And he says, my grace is enough for you. And we knew it. It was coming, right? Amazing grace. Yes. Yeah, we wish Isabella Silvestri were here to sing for us, but she's not, so we're going to sing it ourselves. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a person like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Wow. The Lord had promised good to me. His word my hope secures. His will my shield. He will my shield and portion be as long as life endures. So here we have it, friends. The grace and the blessing of Jesus towards us. He's kind. He's radiant and beautiful. Remember, beauty is harmony. Pure harmony. All we need. Let us allow our instruments of the heart to be tuned up by the grace, the blessing of Jesus, and surrender. I trust. He knows what's going on. He knows what we need. The remedy may be bitter, but it's good for what we need at this moment. Right? McCarthy Claire, that song is amazing. Wrapping up, shall we? Now, this lesson is immortal. From now to immortality, we're going to encounter each other several times for sure. And we need to remind one another, right, Carol?
Right.
Remind one another, not only in this life, but lives to come. It's a deal, right? Deal or no deal? Deal. Yes. Reminding all the followers of the Lord will meet adversaries in the path of our own purification. And you know, the word purification means selflessness. Yeah, from the Greek. It's not about being dirty. No, no, no. It's about becoming selfless. It's like a diamond that shines when it gets everything off of it. Okay? Exactly. The more advanced the course in which those followers are, the greater the number of testimonies and lessons. But you know what's funny? We know of this. And when testimony comes, you know how we read it? Oh, like ancient Romans. Punishment. That person's being punished. You get sick, like, I'm being punished. No, but who said that being sick means being punished? Who said it? Who said that losing your job is being punished? Maybe it's a saving grace. Who said that any obstacle in life is punishment? In the book Action Reaction, we can't forget, André Luiz explains to us the teachings of the instructors of the beyond. There are 3 types of pain. Pain evolution, the one that boosts from outward in, our evolution. So when you go to the gym, the muscles are painful. It's not punishment. It's just a sign that you are building muscle. Not every suffering is about karma, expiation. Sometimes it's about the pain of evolving. And that's beautiful. The pain expiation, which is that inward, out, in to the outward, cleansing inside. And pain, aiding pain, the pain that helps when it comes and says, like Divaldo Franco, one day Victor Hugo needed, the spirit author, needed to psychograph something. But they induced some form of cold on Victor Hugo, so he learned to be still and less, let's say, conscious of the process, and could be still to psychograph the texts. And that's how it all developed. So it's an aiding pain. You're going to say, oh, but I'm so sick, I cannot even psychograph. No, that's when you need to sit down and read and do some work on your own. Of course, not spreading the germs to others, but discarnate spirits, they cannot be contaminated by our code. So you're safe, okay? Yes. Finally, we remind one another. The number of obstacles, lessons, difficulties, obstacles, persecutions, and misunderstandings are symbolic beasts. Difficulties inside of us too. Obstacles inside of us. Persecutions. We often don't approve of ourselves. That's why I need to say, I love and approve of myself in ways that are pleasing to me. Right? Look at myself and I say, I forgive you because of past decisions. But it's okay, I forgive you. And misunderstandings. How often we don't even look at ourselves in the mirror in a fair way. We don't even understand ourselves well. Right? Do you know yourself 100%? No. So he's not talking about beasts external to us only. It's first and foremost inside, because when we clear that up, the external doesn't affect us. Because it doesn't resonate. It doesn't echo inside. It's like a child. They're going to say, I'm not going to play with you anymore. And you're like, okay. It's fair, I mean, you have your right. But I'm not going to power struggle with the child because, it's okay, I mean. And then 5 seconds later, they hug you. And that's okay. So we need to find the crocodiles within, friends. Okay? Don't look at the world and say, oh, that's a crocodile in my life. Where is the crocodile inside of you? Please, empower ourselves. The Master wants us to look within. He doesn't want us, he didn't allow this message to come true to us so we can start finding crocodiles in the world. No, it's the crocodile inside of us. He says there are disciples who find a crocodile a year, or a month, or a week, or a pilgrimage of crocodiles every hour. Okay? Depending on the experiences of the progress made, you see? It depends on the progress we make within. And in these precious and important moments, there's no external force that will rescue, but in the divine school of ascension, you're destined to progress. I'm destined to progress. I evolve. You evolve. We evolve. always. Each learner is to find help, response, and solution within himself. No fear. And thanks to Carlos. I agree, Rudy. Thank you. We were telling him, right? How grateful we are. To Humberto de Campos, to Chico Xavier, to Carlos, to everybody, and for us being here. Thank you, Rihanna. You are starting a day there, and that's beautiful. And our Julija is halfway through, because it's 3 p.m. there, almost 4, right, Julija? 4. So now, because this is a self-sufficient message, we're done. But watch out. The ego crocodile is on the loose. So let us sing to him and say, sing to the crocodile, it's better. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. Chooby-dooby-doo. Ba-ba-ba-ba-boo. Rejoice, friends, and watch out for the ego crocodile. Until tomorrow when we come back, Chapter 8 of the book, Pontos e Contos. Got you, Leia Severo? Chapter 8, book Pontos e Contos. Thank you, friends. Thank you.